It's all good. We are live.
Okay. Yeah, so where we last left off, sorry I lost my train of thought. Party was just getting ready to leave the top of the mountain and travel down to where the castle had crashed. Some party members opting to use gliders, some opting to walk.
Wish I remembered what decision I made.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, this is what I did. I went for the gliders.
And I'm riding on the back.
See, I think Amity and I were flying on the gliders too.
That's right.
I was gonna walk, and then you're like, fly, and I was like, okay.
Tori, you and I were sharing a glider, by the way.
I remember when we like split up, like when I was listening, and then you were like, "I'm with Rowan," and I was like, "Yes." I was like,
okay.
"She knows."
I got you. I got you.
Well, it's because that's what I would have done. So I was like, "You're one." Oh, hi, puppy. Oh, hello.
And you guys start making your way down the mountain.
Wee.
We.
Sorry, couldn't pass it up.
It does take quite a while to travel down the side of the mountain. Definitely a lot longer than it took to fly up the side of the mountain. As you are walking at a brisk pace. Nothing eventful happens on the way down, thankfully.
Yay.
Yeah,
That's
the
good news.
roll didn't come up that he wanted it on his chart.
Well, this chart's a lot less demanding.
You admitted it was a chart. I knew it.
There's always a chart.
There's a chart for everything in D&D.
I have
True.
15 charts. Which one did I roll on? That's the question. Nobody knows. And you reach the foot of the mountain, and as you look out into the trees, you realize it's difficult to tell where you're going.
Great.
Scott, this is the forest that moves.
Amity's just following the ranger and or the druid.
I mean,
Same.
is Nomad still with us? I'm also sorry if you can hear my animal tonight. Just feeling very barky.
Oh, apparently stream died, Joe.
Yeah, I know. I've got it back up. It's
Okay.
there's storms coming through my area, so I apologize. It may be spotty tonight.
Gotcha.
The recording on YouTube should be fine though.
Good. Okay. Nomad would still be with you, yes.
Then I follow Nomad.
Ah, yes. That's what we do.
I've already gotten lost in this forest once. I've learned my lesson.
Are we just like heading west?
Nomad just kind of looks at all of you and is like, what?
So I'm gonna look to Kato. It's just like,
You do look for Kato, and he's not there.
it's at 50 stealth.
I stare back at Nomad and say, you know your way through this weird forest the best. Ordinary forest, I could make my way through. I've already gotten lost once in here. Like to not do it again.
This is an ordinary forest.
Excuse me, but I'm pretty sure one of these trees probably wasn't here. Like,
Well,
can I get the sense
it looks
the
the
fucking
same.
forest is still moving?
You can make a history
I mean-
check if you can recall. As far as you're aware, it looks the same as it always has. At least this portion of the forest.
That is highly suspicious. Well, Kato's nowhere to be seen. Just, I guess, follow the instructions and head west.
I thought we were heading to the Fallen Castle. Is that not what we were doing?
I think so, to see if that other giant had survived and to investigate.
Falling Castle it is then.
Yeah, I'm just following you guys wherever you want to go.
Did Kato go after the weird dude that showed up at the very end? Is that where he went?
So him
No.
and Nomad flew off and then came back.
Okay.
Nomad and Kato
Right.
did walk down the side of the mountain with you, but it seems that since you got to the base, Kato has since slipped away.
It's not unusual. Alright, then, I mean, based off of what we saw from the top of the mountain to now, would I be able to navigate us to where the castle fell?
More than likely. But I will need you to make a survival check.
I
Okay.
believe in you.
Would you like advantage?
Yeah, it can't hurt. Some ranger druid talk about what direction to go in.
Go for me to throw in a guidance there, Josh?
Go for it.
I don't know if it's gonna help.
So, Anya, you think you know the direction. And so you start walking. And you keep walking.
Technically, I can't get lost by non-magical means.
Oh, you're not lost. You know exactly where you are.
In the middle of a stupid forest.
Yeah, you begin walking in the direction you recall to be the direction of the fallen castle. And you walk for several hours. And several more hours.
My goodness.
My
And it's about
feet
that
hurt.
point that you think we probably should have hit the castle by now.
I send Thorn up into the air. Something I should have done a long time ago.
And Thorin goes up into the air.
And I put one of my hands on Amity's shoulder and I look through his eyes.
Yeah, so he gets 100 feet into the air. Looks around. Go ahead and make a perception check using Thorin's perception.
Okay. Oh, and I have advantage. He has keen senses.
Oh.
Doesn't do much better, buddy.
Yeah, he's sure that you're in the middle of a forest. And you're sure you're in the middle of a forest. He sees the mountain in the distance. And that's it.
Alright. I'm going to just send him flying around until we spot something. I don't have a limit. I have the invocation that doesn't give me limits on words are heard.
Oh, yeah.
I can see through his eyes forever.
Yeah, change of glossary.
Yar what?
And you have the Shikasta
Sure.
ability.
So, make a perception check.
Okay.
I believe in you.
No, this would be a survival check instead.
With his stats.
Yes.
Wisdom. He doesn't have survival as a skill, so.
So he flies around for a while. Eventually it gets dark. And he keeps flying around before you finally notice off in the distance what appears to be a pile of rubble and some smoke.
I'm gonna start walking us in that direction.
Okay.
Yeah, I will gladly help her dodge tree
And rocks.
and rocks.
It's like that game you used to play in elementary school where you're leading
Oh god.
people around.
Exactly.
The leader.
All right.
Dee-dum-dee-dee.
So now, because you were flying in circles, and you're trying to retrace your steps, I need you to make a survival check using your own statistics.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And you start walking.
I'm never getting out of this damn forest.
Can,
Oh my
can our
God.
druid try and correct her mistake?
You don't know where it is.
Oh,
I
this
think
is
we all
funny.
need to start looking for the wreckage at this point.
Some of you have gliders.
Hey guys, we can fly.
Why are we walking?
There's definitely gonna be nothing at this castle now. That dude, dead. Bled out while we were wandering in the woods.
We should
Do we
fly
have
though.
a fly available?
Thankfully, after a couple hours of walking, you do arrive at the ruins.
Betty, who was alive is dead.
It seems that the falling structure left a massive wake of destruction on its impact,
That we
leaving
apparently
trees
missed.
scattered everywhere. Well, you could see it from above. Just once you got into the forest, it was harder to see.
True.
Let's just say it wasn't a high DC to find it.
And
yeah,
yet,
well, you know,
But you
rolling
didn't
double
mean it.
digits would really help. Poor stranger.
Rangering's hard, okay? I feel you there.
Absolutely useless.
It's okay, Betty.
You do find a pile of rubble.
Can Amity look around and see if she sees anything?
Yeah, do we see
I
anything?
would look around too.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
If we're gonna roll higher than that after this. No necessary net 20.
Okay. So you don't really see anything on the surface of the rubble. Nothing seems to be moving. It's hard to distinguish one portion of the castle from another amidst the fallen rocks. But Zephyr, you are able to kind of pick out the area that likely would have been the tower if it were still standing.
Yeah, if it were still a tower. I'm gonna probably add area
You're gonna do
for
what? Sorry, you
anything.
cut out.
Search what remains of the tower.
Sure.
Investigation check, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Good old +1. 9. Good here.
Don't really find anything. Just seems to be rubble, rubble, and more rubble.
You find anything over there?
Nothing quite yet.
I mean, do you want me to look? I have pretty sharp
Only
eye.
one of us looked.
Can Amity look?
Yes.
Great.
There we go.
So, you look around, search through some rubble. Not a ton of stuff here. It's mostly just rock.
Well, I guess whatever was here is not here anymore. Like, totally.
What are the rest of you doing?
I'd be looking to see if there's anything coming our way for anybody scavenging or any beasts that are interested in all the noise that happened.
Sure.
So Joe's going to attempt a ranger thing.
I was gonna look for giant footprints to see if whoever went down with this tower was able to walk away from it.
Sure, that's survival.
Oof.
Tori
It's
and
not
Tori.
Wednesday.
Things are looking dark.
Giant footprints? What giant footprints? There
Kayla,
are none.
try
I'm
restarting
sure
your roll
they're
20 just in case. I think you may have broken it.
I'm probably also just making sure we don't get attacked by anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, walking around looking for things in the woods.
Going above 10 and Vanya's.
I don't want to talk about it.
Because lightning hurts and I don't want to get jumped by anything.
Lightning does hurt.
Yes,
Yeah. Make a perception check.
I learned that.
Do I get to make a perception check?
Sure.
Woo! Woo.
The sad woo. Sorry. Woo.
Miss anybody? No, that was everybody. Alright, so, Ramona, you notice out of the corner of your eye a slight shift in the rubble.
I think I found something, maybe? And I'll go that way, saying that out.
Okay. So you begin walking over. It does appear to be a slight tile near where the tower ruins would have been. And as you get close, you suddenly see a hand reach out from the rubble and grab your arm.
Yeah.
It is a giant-sized hand.
Uh,
Ugh.
I'm gonna say, help, I found him. And I'll try and help, I guess, pull him out, even though I don't think I'm actually much help.
I try and help too.
You begin pulling, and you feel some sort of magic power being transferred directly to you. And after a few seconds, the arm lets go and falls limp to the ground.
Check it. I'm gonna check if he's dead.
Can,
Medicine check.
can I tell what the magic did?
You look over at your arm, and you see another rune has appeared. This one similar to your others, but also different.
16.
16? It appears to be dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Well, that's not
That whatever
unsettling.
energy he had left went into this.
I didn't need more. Okay. Can I try to, know how I have that stuff I can do with my runes? Like, I can use them to enhance things I can do, or whatever. Can I try and, will energy from this one? See what happens?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Pretty sure I don't have anything currently on me that can help.
So
From
you
death?
try to channel energy from it, and you're not able to the same way you are the others.
If Amity would see her messing with it, can she see if she can recognize the rune?
Sure,
Well, I was
make a
actually
religion
thinking
check.
I'd go to Amity. Magic.
Magic.
A religion check, you said?
Religion check.
Okay.
You're not sure.
It's quite interesting. I doubt it.
With my
Is there
time with
anything weird?
monks and books and things, would I have maybe seen this thing?
You don't recognize it off the bat, but you can make a religion check.
Huh.
Huh?
You're not sure.
Oof.
Great.
Anybody know anything about this?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, Rowan, you would recognize that it's not amongst at least the common gods that you're used to seeing.
Fucking again.
How did I know that was gonna happen? How did I know? I was about to say I'm gonna roll. Watch this be a nat 20. And it
I
wound
was
up
about to
being
roll too, but I'm just gonna let this one go.
And Zaris, you're also not sure.
Oof.
Can
one.
I
You should have used guidance.
Can I get a sense of the rune, like what it's capable of on her currently, sort of thing?
Make an Arcana check.
I get some guidance here. If
I'll
anyone
give you
has
guidance.
guidance.
Oh, it doesn't do it. I have to roll it.
Yeah, that needs to roll the d4 manually. 24.
You recognize that it's magical, but you're not sure what properties it has.
God damn it. In DC.
I don't like this.
You're well versed in giant things,
No.
giant culture, and all that. Besides me, I'm looking at Nomad like. Do you know anything about giants? Or I'm giving him that look.
Do you have a question for me?
Do you know anything about giant culture and the nature of this rune on our friend's arm?
I know about giant culture, but I don't know about magical runes.
What this is, what it symbolizes, anything?
Well, it looks like a magic rune, and I'm guessing it symbolizes something with the giant.
Has our friend here been dead?
He just died.
I'm pretty sure he died after
The
he did
DM
this, like
For a
immediately.
time period. The DM for like, how long has it been since he just died?
Several hours.
We've been standing here for several hours?
Well, it took you several hours to get here. Oh, how long has it been since the giant died?
Until he kicked. How long until after he kicked the butt?
Gotcha. Sorry, he is cutting out tremendously for me.
He is for me
Same.
too.
Yeah.
It has been a
Reconnecting.
couple of minutes.
Yeah. I
Okay, so
grabbed him.
that did not help.
Well, Revivify only works on humanoids. And this is a giant.
It's technically humanoid.
It's technically giant. You would know that it would not work. So go
Yeah,
ahead
I have
and
nothing.
reset your roll or your Discord.
Yeah.
I'm catching like every 5 words.
How's that better?
For
A
that
little bit.
sentence, yes.
See
For
how it
future
goes.
ones, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been like 2 minutes since the giant died.
Yeah, but sadly I've got nothing in my repertoire that would help us in life again.
Well, maybe we can go back to the other giant that survived with us and maybe ask him if he's still around.
Giants that survived at the village.
I thought there was one. Wasn't there one?
There
Do we
was when
see
you
one
left.
giant?
I think there was one.
Yeah, I think Mike said there was one that wound up flying.
Yeah, there was one at the village when you left.
Before we go, Amity's just gonna cast Detect Magic just to see if it'll do anything.
You want to see if you can
Yeah, Zara
figure
would do
out if
that
this
too.
is a school of magic.
She'd walk off one direction, I'd probably walk off another and detect magic.
No, I'd be looking at the rune first.
Thank you.
Well, I'm pretty sure the rune is magic.
Yeah, but
Well, it'll tell me the school.
True.
I'm pretty sure Zara's actually said that in characters, like I'm pretty sure it's magic, but you know, go ahead.
Yeah.
I
you
mean, I know
cast
that
the
already.
spell, and it comes up magical, but it does not tell you what school.
That's...
Amity, am I gonna die?
Well, I mean, it's definitely magic. Usually this works, but I don't know what school of magic it's coming from.
Well, it's okay. I'm sure it's fine.
Sorry.
Some random runes have appeared.
And then she'll start just scanning the area. Specifically where that giant's hand is.
Yeah, you don't sense anything else magical
Okay.
other than your party,
Okay.
especially Nomad.
I
Cool.
imagine Nomad just lights up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, it's like a beacon of Gondor.
Hey,
What are you guys doing?
Should we just head back then?
I would like to remind you guys, it's the middle of the night.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm driving.
Yeah.
Some of us are super hurt. Not saying any names.
Well, do
some
we
of
want to?
us are also low on spells.
Well, do we want to camp here for the night, or do we want to go back to the village?
The village is a several-hour walk.
Mm-hmm.
We're better off camping
Well-
here.
We can
have
fly.
problem, yeah.
But the village is a several-hour walk.
But no matter, you're afraid we're going to leave you all alone.
I'd probably make it there before you.
Weird flex, but okay.
This is a forest that has were tigers, God knows what else in it.
Yeah, on the ground, we still have gliders.
Which cast fly once per day.
Didn't they get? I thought they got recharged at one point.
If they go through elemental wind, have they gone through elemental wind, Josh?
They did earlier.
I recall them being recharged after we used them once, and then we walked down the mountain.
And then you use them to get off
Oh yeah,
Giant's
some of us.
Castle.
Oh, we did. That's right.
Well, it sounds like we're camping.
Let's camp.
I will do the usual. Put up the hut.
Mm-hmm.
After a few minutes.
After 15 minutes.
15 minutes. 15 minutes. Very specifically.
All right. And you all crowd into the tiny hut. Anybody
Yes.
taking watches?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
Always.
Sure thing.
If anyone has the previous watch order, that'd be great.
I'll stick to my last half.
I'm in the middle
I'll
there
do
somewhere.
my,
I think I was.
I'll do my
first.
first.
No. When was I? I don't remember.
I think you were first.
Yeah, I
It doesn't
think
really
I think,
matter. As long
yeah, it
as the
doesn't
people who
really
can't
matter.
see in the dark are with someone who can see in the dark.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hi, I'm
This is
Ramona.
why I
I
have
can't
dogs.
see in the dark.
Hello, I'm Amity and I can.
Hi. We're usually partners. Let's be partners.
Okay.
This is why I got goggles at night.
Well, look, man, I wanted other stuff. It's fine.
Take first and be present. Get Sentry's Rest.
All right. Whoever's on first watch can make a perception check.
It's the squishies.
Yeah. Nope. Distracted.
Oh,
Wow,
We're great.
no.
We got this.
We're getting sidetracked, like drawing or something.
Yeah. I
Oh,
wanna
thank God for
actually
the
copy
fucking
the room.
rotating.
Yeah,
All about
Amity's
that
definitely studying this route instead of
Me
doing
too,
anything.
but I'm trying to draw it in my sketchbook at the same time, and it's like, look, Amity, I need my arm, okay?
She's like looking through the wizard her like spell book, and she's like, "Hold on, let me see if I can find the rune somewhere in here."
Ugh.
My drawing hand.
I know, I can't do it without it.
Sorry.
Draw with your other hand.
I'm not ambidextrous.
Looks like a 5-year-old drew it.
Aren't you glad that I decided to take first with them?
Well, yeah, you and I should always basically be split up.
I just have to.
I guess I'm on second watch.
And then that's.
We gotta make it through first watch, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jump.
If we do.
Flipping through the book.
God damn it.
Gosh, just let me know when I have to start rolling with disadvantage because century.
Okay. So,
Suddenly, 2 owl bears come out of the forest.
Nope. Instead, there's 4 dragons.
nothing happens.
With
Next
my
watch.
12.
Okay.
Hey.
I guess I'll be on second.
How many watches do we have? 3 or 4?
At least 3.
3. We take 3 when we don't have Nomad and Kato with us.
Mhm.
Okay.
Ever present and don't need sleep.
Anybody on watch with me? Am I doing this by myself here?
You have
The watchman, who was rolling a disadvantage, but still awake.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna roll. I was gonna take third watch.
I'm actually on half of this one.
Sure. Go ahead and make a roll.
I'm on the last half of this part.
Average but interesting rolls.
Okay. So, as you're sitting there,
Nothing happens, right, Josh?
Not this time.
you don't notice anything.
But something notices you.
As the 2.5 of you are awake. Are you having any conversation, or are you just sitting in silence?
Well, we know I'm not going to talk unless somebody else asks me.
How are you feeling, Zephyr, ever since your ordeal, before the dragons, the whole dying thing?
Okay, should be working.
Do you answer Azaris?
Oh, it was me? I thought you said Zephyr.
She did, but she messed up.
I did mess up. I'm not talking to the statue man.
Oh!
He wasn't here last week, and now I'm all confused.
So was I.
I almost called myself Ramona earlier. I was like, fuck. But yes, Saris.
I guess I'm doing a little bit better now. I mean, I'm still breathing.
Yes, that is a good thing.
Yes, it is.
Does this weird you out at all, like it does me, just having him there, both awake and not awake, like always watching?
Every
Technically still
second
awake.
of the watch.
What did you say, Joe?
I said it's every second of the watch.
I know. Isn't it just like I know you can hear me, but it's just so strange.
Just in
just
the
not
corner of
used
the
to it.
screen. Just in the corner of the screen, Zephyr will remember this.
Like it's not a bad thing. It's super useful to have like a permanent sentry in the sense, but I don't know. It kind of creeps me out. Not in the bad way, Zephyr. I mean, it's just different.
Just to clarify, because she knows that I'm still conscious.
Well, I think at this point we're just going to wind up getting used to it, since we're going to be doing this often enough. At least it seems that way.
Yeah, it's just eerie, I guess.
Yeah, it's
but in a
definitely
good
little
way.
strange. Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. It's nice to have an extra set of eyes. It's just definitely not something we're used to quite yet.
Do you think if we just like sit behind him, it'll make a difference?
I mean, we could do that just to mess with him.
Okay, he gets up and goes behind Zephyr.
Okay, so you sit behind the Warforged who's just sitting on his totem, because that thing is basically a chair.
Yep, but I go behind you so you can't see me. And just sit cross-legged behind the totem like, haha!
If I could facepalm in this state, I would.
I don't know why this feels like I won something, but I feel like I won something.
And I will use message to send Rowan a message. If you want to really mess with him, grab some acorns and toss them at his head.
At least now I know who's been doing that.
No, he said it in a message, so he didn't say it out
Yeah,
loud.
you didn't hear it.
Roan's gonna like pick up like some like leaves and stuff and like start balancing them on top of Zephyr's head and see how many she can stack.
So you're leaving the bubble.
Well, he's in the bubble, isn't he? Are there no sticks on the ground in our bubble?
Well, it depends where you took a rest.
It's the forest. I assume there's just sticks everywhere.
Well, not if you stayed in the ruins.
Oh, I don't remember. Where did we decide to just park it in the ruins? Fine. If we stayed in the ruins, I pick up pebbles off the ground and start balancing them on top of his head without leaving the bubble.
Sure.
And then I sort of like, once I've got like maybe 3 stacked, I sort of like open my arms like and look at Xeris like, huh?
He just cracks a big old grin because he finds it hilarious.
Like, see, look, I have magic too.
I'm curious, could any of them be able to gauge the current feeling behind Zephyr's eyes?
Do either of you care to gauge the current feeling behind Zephyr's eyes?
I mean, I'm busy balancing rocks on his head. I'm not looking at his face.
Okay.
Wouldn't be a high DC anyway. It would literally be like, you sense very high levels of annoyance and frustration.
That's it.
Okay. And the watch goes off seemingly uneventful.
That's rude.
But good.
And third watch.
Hey, I'm on this too. I like to think that she just wakes up to a pile of rocks balanced on top of Zephyr's head.
Are you still balancing rocks on Zephyr's head?
Well, no, there's just a couple stacked there, and I've left them there to like just sitting there.
Just nods. Take the seat somewhere.
To signify your victory.
Like, yes. Having other people now have seen it, I take them off his head. being confirmed in her actions. She removes the rocks.
So,
Have you got any knitting done, Vanya?
Not yet. Spent most of my free time. Well, spent most of it the other day
Fighting
summoning
dragons,
Thorn
yeah.
back. Well, fighting Thorn and fighting dragons, summoning Thorn back, and haven't had a lot of time.
Ah, well. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It's quite peaceful. And very relaxing.
Yeah, hopefully we're bound to end up with some time eventually, aren't we? Not just gonna wander the forest forever.
I mean, we can only hope, I guess. But, guess we'll get to that point when we get to that.
Yeah. This was certainly an odd turn of events. Giants falling out of the sky and dragons and that weird man that flew away.
Honestly, but every step of that whole day was like weird just from like start to finish. It kind of just escalated as time went on.
Yeah. Continued to get crazier and crazier. And then we got lost in this stupid jungle.
The jungle. This has been a boring night, I must say.
Yeah? The other watches have been calm?
I mean, my other watch I spent balancing rocks on top of Zephyr's head, so, you could say it was kind of quiet, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, it seems relaxing, stacking rocks. You have to balance them just right.
I couldn't find any sticks. I was gonna, like poke them behind his ears and, give him, some, leaves on his head or something, go, for
That
full,
would've been great.
Full druid,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But alas, all I had were rocks, so I made do. Next time, though.
Next
There
time.
would be a next time. As I sneak a look at Zephyr.
You could probably feel the annoyance behind his eyes.
We deliberately choose to ignore it.
Yes. Or I was just pacing in the bubble. Da 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 da.
about halfway through the night. I guess not quite halfway, about a quarter of the way through the night. You notice Nomad gets up, looks at all of you, and then walks into the forest.
Wait, where
Where
are you going? Oh,
Way
mad.
back soon.
But back from where? Where are you going?
I have a hunch on something.
Hunch? What kind of hunch?
And he doesn't respond and just keeps walking.
Should I send Thorn after him with him?
Yeah, I was gonna say I could go because I can just hoop through the shadows. But yeah, sure, send Thorn. That works too.
Yeah, I'll send Thorn to follow him.
Okay.
Just let me put my hand on your shoulder, and then I'll look through him.
So Nomad walks about 30 feet outside of the hut, casts a spell on himself, and then seemingly books it into the forest.
Am I able to track him at all?
He's moving pretty quick, but you can make a survival check.
Okay.
Because these have gone well all night.
Listen.
You got it. Come on.
Yeah, you got it.
No,
now.
you don't.
That's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, it's with Thorn's stats. It's the same thing. If I just picked regular wisdom, he's not proficient in it. He's not proficient in survival.
And Thorn, for a few minutes, looks confused. He knows Nomad went in a straight line. That was pretty obvious. Just didn't realize how fast Nomad was traveling. So it takes a few minutes to catch up, but eventually he's able to find a light source in the trees and catches a brief of Nomad as he strikes down a creature you recognize.
What do I recognize it as?
You fought them before. It seemed to be this hyena-like creature.
So mortals.
Yes. There was 3. Now there's none. And then he keeps going. This time, changing direction and moving.
I'm gonna tell Thorn to follow, but I'm gonna come back to myself briefly so I can tell Rowan, there's gnolls in the woods. Nomad seems to have them handled, though.
Why couldn't he have just told us there were no... Anyways, okay.
Well, it lets everybody else finish their rest. I'm better off for it, honestly.
Yeah, you're probably right. Looking down at the 2 real squishy ones, like, man. They need their sleep.
A few seconds later, you hear what sounds like a loud clap of thunder coming from the direction that Nomad was just in.
What do you think that was?
I don't know. I'm gonna try to find out.
Okay.
And I'll zip back into Thorn.
Alright. You get back into Thorn's senses and you see several dead gnolls, but no Nomad.
Thunderwave.
Do I see any indication of where he might have gone?
You can make a survival check again.
Hey, look at that. I finally hit double digits, guys.
Yay!
Woohoo!
You're not sure.
Yeah, that tracks.
Thorn does, as you mentally communicate to him to look around, he relays back to you that Nomad disappeared in a flash.
Alright, I'll just have him come back then.
And there was something else here that wasn't a gnoll.
Oh, am I able to get any idea of what it might have been?
Thorn would tell you it looked like some kind of big snake.
A big snake. Like a normal big snake? Or an abnormal big snake?
Well, it seemed pretty abnormal, at least to what Thorn is used to considering normal.
And the snake is gone now?
Snake is gone.
Do I get any indication that Nomad was eaten by a giant snake?
Thorn would tell you that he disappeared, but the snake never attacked him.
Okay. Is there anything else I feel like I might be able to get from this area?
Other than there being a few dead gnolls? Nope.
Yeah, big dead gnolls, not that unusual anymore. Alright, I'll have him come back.
He comes flying back.
And then I relay everything to Rowan.
I don't like this. But I mean, we can't really leave these ones, so.
No, I think we're...
He said he'd be fine, so I guess we just trust him.
Yeah, he's been fine every time up until now, so there's no reason to think he won't be.
Anything else from you guys?
I don't think so.
No, I think we're good.
All right, then I will pass it to Mike.
Oh my god!
Too bad he's not here. So I have to wait.
Ah.
He's in the game. I thought he was in our Discord. I thought I heard the ka-ding, but I didn't.
Nope, not yet.
Yeah.
In that case, we'll take a 10-minute break.
Yay, good
All
man.
right.
GAF, holy shit.
He's almost here. He's in Discord.
And we are back.
All right. Sorry about the delay. All right. So, Mona.
Oh, hi.
As you are falling asleep that night, you have a very interesting dream. Are flying. Look down at your arm, and the new growing rune that you fired seems to be pointing you in a direction. Flying over trees, or branches whipping past you. For a moment, you spot something that looks like a city amongst the trees, but then you continue flying past it. Continue flying. Faster than you've ever traveled before. And you find yourself flying over a great big middle of a forest on the northern slopes of a mountain range. Top of this temple you see is an obelisk. Fly past the obelisk, the rune on your arm shoots out like a shockwave. Obelisk lights up, and at the very tip of the obelisk, headed into the mountain range. As you continue flying past the obelisk, following this beam of light, is another. This obelisk is sitting in front of about this cave entrance, in shape, and doesn't seem to be naturally formed.
I'm getting major first campaign vibes.
Continue flying past the obelisk into the cave. Gonna start. Startling. When we're on watch.
That cut out what we were asking.
Is on the watch.
Yeah, I believe it was Rowan and Vanya, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We were on last watch, yeah.
So the two of you are startled as kind of like bolt upright, having to have had a very strong dream. She's covered in sweat, and when you notice that the rune on her arm slowly dissipates because it was glowing a moment ago.
And not one of her runes, right? Like the
Not
rune
the new
rune.
one. I think this one's actually on the opposite arm, so it works.
Rowan will like run over to her really quick and just sort of like check her and make sure she looks like alive.
Oh, hi.
Are you okay? What happened? What's wrong? What?
I kind of look down at my arm where the rune is. I had a really weird dream. I
Why
was
do you
like,
say that like a question? I don't like that.
well, I mean, it wasn't like a normal one. I don't know. So this thing, and I point at it, was like glowing, and I was flying, and I was flying to a cave, but it was really far, and there was like forests and mountains and obelisks, and Well, a lot of stuff. I don't know. But this was an arrow, too, kind of thing. It was showing me where to go.
Ramona, as you're explaining this to Rowan, very sense that you, for some reason, understand what the rune does. Much like your other runes, in that it is powered by your sorcery power. Expend a sorcery point to power the rune in a direction that you need to go. What towards you're unclear.
Okay, so I'll...
But you do get the sense that you need to go there.
Okay. I'll spend the sorcery point to kind of activate it, I guess.
Right. And the rune lights up. It kind of has a little bit of a point on it already, and that point just seems to rotate across your skin and is pointing in a specific direction, like a compass heading.
Cool, I'm a compass. I think we need to follow it. And I'll just kind of like hold my arm up, showing Rowan.
You want to follow it right now?
Well, I guess once everyone's rested. But yeah.
Just gonna be sitting there, taking all the information in.
Okay, well, go back to sleep for now. As they sort of like pushed her back down and like cover her up with a blanket and like tuck her in.
Thanks, Mom.
Yes.
Party mom.
And just go back to sleep and we'll deal with all this when everybody else is awake.
Anyone else realize that Mike just gave us one of those quest marker compasses?
Okay, and it's me.
I haven't done that before in this group.
Except for using my sorcery points. Anyway.
So this was a literal quest marker compass.
And Rowan just like sort of sits next to where Ramona's like sleeping, and she keeps up her watch from there.
It only marks ahead. True, Josh. True. Help us find the various caches.
Well, that seems like a problem for in the morning.
Yeah, definitely a morning problem.
Actually, not much later is when morning comes.
Hooray!
And
watch.
apparently now it's our problem.
Yay, full rest.
Yeah, everybody gets a full long rest.
Ew.
Whoop whoop.
Key points, key points.
Curious, does she get that point back now that she's had that long rest?
Was about to ask. I'll just put it at 7. It's okay.
You get it back, so you're back up to 8.
Hooray! Good thing.
So, it's morning.
Major.
Is Nomad back?
Nope.
Also, is KO in the area? Not present due to like high as fuck stealth.
Oh,
I mean, you
no.
don't immediately notice Kato anywhere.
The definitely sort of looks at the group like, Sue.
We
I wanna
follow
go
the
from here.
rune. If I look at it, do I have to reactivate it?
I'll say it's been roughly an hour, so after an hour it dims again.
Well, it was pointing that way.
Way.
Okay.
That way.
Descriptive.
That direction. I point.
We could travel in that direction for several hours. Well, yeah, we'll travel in that direction for several hours and then see where that puts us.
You always recheck every so often.
Yeah.
Where did Nomad go?
He went
Uh,
off in a
He went that
direction.
way. Point
Yeah,
the direction
he-
Nomad went.
He heard something in the night and he ran off, and I had Thorn follow him, and he fought some gnolls and fought some more gnolls, and there was a big snake, and then he disappeared.
That sounds good.
And then he never came back.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I do not think he was eaten by the big snake.
Vanya, you do know you can track that spot. You do recall where he went.
We could.
So if you wanted to, you could retrace his steps.
I could lead us to where he seemingly vanished if we want to take a look around.
Well,
Is it in roughly the same direction that rune was?
No, it's the opposite direction. Vanya knows it's not too far.
It's not, but it didn't take him long to get there. It wouldn't be out of our way to go check.
well, if he left us, wasn't. I mean, it was probably intentional, right? So maybe
I'm
just
pretty
let
sure
him go.
he can find us.
I have a feeling he'd be able to find us, yeah.
We'll
We're not
also
a-
say, Ramona, at the speed that you were flying in your dream, you covered like hundreds of miles in like seconds.
Oh, it's like super far, by the way. Where
Though this dream, which took like dominated your sleep for all of like 6 hours, so maybe you weren't flying that fast, but you just perceived it as fast.
this.
Oh,
Yeah, I understand. I've had dreams like that in real life. Anyway, it's usually in a restaurant. Don't worry about it.
Dreams that they're Angel from X-Men sometimes.
So it's like super duper far. Though, but I mean, I want to go.
I mean, we can always.
Go ahead.
I mean, without Nomad and without Kato, we don't really have any other sense of direction, so it doesn't seem like a terrible idea.
Okay.
To be honest, this rune thing has probably given us the most direction that Kato's given us.
Well, the first thing I found was a city in the trees, so keep our eyes out.
A city in the trees?
Among them, yes.
Have I heard of such things before? That's a nope.
Was a nope.
Right. We want to at least check on that whole knoll and nomad thing first. Then head that way.
We could. Yes, no.
I mean, I think he'll be okay. He's been okay every other time.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you guys want to go fight some gnolls.
I mean, they were kind of dead, right?
Yes.
Vanya, the current state of said gnolls are dead, correct?
Yes, sorry, I was found out for a second. It's been a really long week.
Okay. So we have a lot of dead gnolls,
Were
a
they?
snake. Leave
Yeah,
Josh.
Let's just follow the arrow. But I will activate it again just to make sure, because I remember this forest is weird.
Okay.
Goodbye, sorcery point.
So are you? So,
Lovely.
so you're following the arrow, or are you going after the dead gnolls? Because they're in completely opposite directions.
The arrow.
Right. So as you guys leave your tiny hut, you hear a voice say, "So what have you decided?" And there's Kato leaning up against the hut.
Oh,
Oh, hi.
Hey,
hello.
this isn't a very tall hut either, is it?
No, it's like a large tent, but it's bigger on the inside.
You and your TARDIS fucking things. You and your TARDIS
Yeah, I didn't even
mechanics.
like make that a thing. That's part of the spell.
Yep.
It's like a
Yeah.
like a 5-foot diameter hemisphere that can fit up to 8 people in it. Yeah, bigger on the inside.
Right. Comfortably.
I thought it was 9 people comfortably, yeah.
Well, then there you go.
It's 9 plus the spellcaster, so 10.
Oh fuck.
Jesus Christ. That's a large fucking tent.
I like how nobody questions how they didn't see Kato standing outside when the hemisphere is transparent.
Anybody questioned it. She just kept quiet.
There's no way I would have seen that with how crappy I was rolling. So,
Kato has like 40 or 50 stealth.
I just assume he's always around.
I just assume if I can't see him, he's probably nearby.
I mean, in the original campaign, he was from he had 50 stealth, but now he's pretty.
So sad.
No,
Ness could keep up in stealth with him. Anyway.
I think we decided to follow this weird rune on Ramona's arm, which mysteriously appeared yesterday after Giant Hand grabbed her.
Yeah, and I'll show him.
Seems legit.
Curious, does it move in relation to Ramona? So, like, if she moves, does it just adjust direction?
I think so, because we saw it turning
it's
last
literally
night.
it's a magic compass on her wrist.
Okay, so in relation to her, it will always point in the direction.
Yes. So, like, if she was facing the opposite direction, it would be pointing towards her.
Yeah, that sounds about how compasses work.
This one's not pointing north.
But it is
Magic compasses.
sometimes. Right?
It is what? I didn't even catch
I
that.
don't know. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
What happened to Nomad?
He disappeared towards the end of the night, fought some gnolls, and never came back.
You also said
Say
it was
where he was
snake
going?
involved.
Nope. He said, "Did you say that I'd be back? That he'd be back?" I can't remember what he said.
He'd say something about a hunch, didn't he?
Yeah.
Joe turns back over to Ramona and he says, "You said you saw a city in the trees."
Yeah, I saw a few things in like a dream from this thing, I guess. I was flying and I flew past a city and some trees. I flew past a temple with like an obelisk thing on it. And then it like shot a beam to like a mountain where there was another one. And then there was like a cave at the end that was man-made. I don't really know. So
Interesting.
You happen to get a look of said mountain?
I was looking at the shining beacon more than the actual mountain itself. But I'm sure if we follow this, we'll get there eventually.
I just got a bad feeling when an obelisk might be involved.
There was two.
If there's two, it's certainly fine.
Yeah.
How only the Warforged is worried about this.
The city in the trees, that's probably to the west, which on having us go next. Oh, maybe we could stop there. There. Find out what Ona to this mountain range.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Mm.
West it is.
West it is.
Fortunately, we lost our guide.
There's this thing. Is it pointing west?
It's pointing more southwest.
Oh.
Kata will say that what he knows, the Elvish Kingdom is west by southwest, so it's not perfectly west. Like split the difference between where your compass is pointing and straight west.
Hmm.
I'm sure Vanya could get us there.
You know,
It's really
you,
hard.
you think that, wouldn't you?
Kata,
you
you
know.
just want to... Kata, I'm assuming you're probably heading for the city in the trees. You want us to follow this weird runic compass?
When shouldn't we stay together?
Really should. Besides, what
So,
wanted Ramona to do about this?
following the compass then?
Going to the city first, but yeah.
Yes.
It'll probably be on the way.
Or we can also keep an eye out and adjust our course a little bit more, I guess, west than this says. And just hope we get there.
Mm-hmm. Plus, when we get to this city, we might be able to ask some questions about what you might have seen.
Fully.
Like the two obelisks that apparently were... Man, first demons,
If this
now...
has anything to do with the Noe Mistress. It's a temple to her in the city of Vasselheim that has obelisks in it. It's the only temple I know of that had obelisks, actually.
Oh,
First demons and now magical obelisks and mountains.
the temple sounds like a good place to go, though. So,
Agreed.
So, shall we keep walking?
We head back to Zephyra and pick up provisions before we go out.
Alright.
All right. Flying back up the mountain then.
Yeah,
Do.
guess so.
Mm-hmm.
we fly up the mountain.
Alright.
Whoosh. I
Get on
love
your
it.
glider. And you see as you go flying ahead, takes out that same wand that he took out before. The kind of crooked looking wand, frog on the end. And then a moment later, he's a giant eagle flying past you a little bit faster, and then he kind of slows down a bit so you guys can keep up.
That's nice of him. Hello, Cloud.
A few hours later, make your way back to Zephyra. You can see that the village seem to have left their hideout wherever that was and are returning to their village. Lots of are making the rounds, making sure everyone's okay, while also people on the ground are tending to the Sky Dancer's wounds. Also see that the Knights of the Scale are helping people as well. A bit of healing and helping carry around that was moved in the chaos.
Are they always here?
Oh!
You were here during that fight too.
They've literally been there every step of the way as you guys made your way to this village.
Oh. Guess I just block them out now.
Oh, you can't forget Roy and Stella.
I mean,
You can forget about Harvey.
Yeah, fuck Harvey.
How what we decided what his name was? I was still calling him Burnface.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, 'cause
Because
Harvey Dent.
Harvey Two-Face, Harvey Dent. So his name became Harvey.
Like it's not that man. It's not my name.
No,
Sorry, Mike. This
we're
one
not
character, you've lost control.
Hey, I mean, I'm okay with it.
No, we're not a group of bullies at all.
This was a character I was literally just referring to as Burnface because I didn't feel like making up a name for him.
Well,
So,
he gets to be
thank-
Harvey now.
I'm okay with that.
Excellent.
How fitting.
we won.
Makes the notes no longer called Burnface.
We won D&D, everybody.
Yep. Convince the DM to do something. Woo!
And that's it for tonight. No, just kidding. I have
So,
one
sorry, what again
Dungeons and
did you say?
Dragons.
What is everybody doing in the town again when we show up? Sorry, I got distracted by Harvey.
Basically recovering from the
Okay.
from the fight. That's
Okay.
what's happening.
Does it look like it's severely fricked up here?
I mean, the Sky Dancers look a bit worse for wear, but the villagers themselves are fine and are trying to heal the Sky Dancers.
What about the village itself?
The village itself, so About a quarter of the village destroyed. It seems when the castle was making its way over top of the village, it didn't miss it completely and had kind of like cut through like a section of the village, kind of like a glacier cutting through a ship.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, it was completely uninhabited because everybody had.
Okay.
There were no casualties on that end. There are a couple kind of like blasts of fire and places where buildings kind of look like they got flash frozen. Things that are partially melted. Looks
Probably have some
manageable.
static cling.
The lightning ones basically just look more like the burnt ones.
Except if you go near it, you get that shock like you go up to a fridge.
And not really, there's no metal, so. But yeah, that seems to be the state of things in the village.
All right.
Actually, you guys find Arden, who is kind of overseeing everybody. He kind of comes swooping down on his glider. He's like, "Oh my god, I'm glad you guys are all right. Last night after you towards the ruins of the castle." You all right?
Fine.
Yeah, we found where castle went down, and by the time we got there and searched around, it was too dark to come back, so we camped.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable.
And everyone's okay here?
I mean, there's a few wounded, but we were able to keep most of the fighting away from the village. So we lost a couple sky dancers, but
Well, looks like you're mostly just gonna have to do the repair work and tend to your wounded, so.
looks like this lost one too. Where's the
He
half-elf
wandered off in the middle of the night. Something about a hunch.
We have a feeling he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
I feel like the more we say it, the less likely it is.
I feel like you're right.
That sounds like shell shock to me, but I mean, he's your friend. You would know.
I mean,
Is a very loose
He's our
way
friend.
to describe.
I think he's more like an acquaintance still, technically.
I mean, he did kind of fight a dragon with a giant.
Also with us. He's totally our friend.
But to be honest, Nima did a lot of the fighting on behalf of us.
Friend.
One of us. One of us.
Right. Okay.
This poor guy.
Sitting
We're all
there
just
watching you guys have this conversation about what's your friend.
Either way, pretty sure he'll be fine. He'll be back. He tends to find us instead of us finding him.
But anyway.
Joe pipes up and says, if he does come back here looking for us, let him know that we west towards the. Oh,
Yeah.
luck. Like a moment, and Kayla's like, "What do you mean by that?"
Oh no,
He's
you're
like-
super choppy. For me, anyway.
Yeah, I heard O and
Yeah,
luck,
choppy.
and that's it.
Oh, all right. How about now?
Yes, that's better.
Yes,
For now, yes.
Okay, maybe I just wasn't speaking loud enough before.
it's possible.
Rude.
Put
Sorry.
the mic a little closer. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Oh, and there's kind of like a moment, and Kato was like, "What do you mean by that?"
Yeah, that's ominous.
And Art is like, "Well, I mean, I don't exactly like other people."
What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
I mean, I told you guys how the Watching Wolf was our savior, right?
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Do you think he saved us from?
Uh,
Them?
I feel like it could have been all manner of things.
Well, she's right. It was them.
Just from the gun. What?
Yeah, way to use those context clues.
I know, I'm so proud of myself.
Using those middle school English language arts skills.
Yup.
You see, our ancestors used to be enslaved to the elves. The property, they fabricated us, kidnap wild men from the forest, and use them to make the perfect soldiers. After a couple centuries of this, we rebelled. Watching Wolf led us to safety. This valley where they can't touch us. Looks over at Vanya and Rowan, and he says, "I recommend you two from them as possible.
What is possible?
As far away from them as possible."
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm hearing
You have a
static.
demon in your microphone.
Sorry.
That fiendish entity that's watching Ray.
So maybe we should avoid the spooky city.
I generally like to avoid spooky things in general. So, yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure we kind of want to avoid people who would be willing to, enslave our elven friends here and, turn them into, I'm assuming, obedient, very loyal soldiers.
Actually, they wouldn't enslave them, they would probably kill them on sight.
Oh, okay. So,
They learned
death
their
on
lesson
sight.
when we rebelled against them. They don't.
Do you know anything about a oval cave by an obelisk?
It's a triangle cave.
Oh, sorry. Triangle cave. I have a... Why did I hear oval? Maybe I heard over. It's fine. I got it.
And it was a
Maybe.
crescent moon.
It's
He
fine.
says,
Don't worry about it.
That's a random question. No, never.
Okay, my thought went to that because you're like slaves, and then I had this. Wait, this is gonna sound really weird. Oh well, I had this dream, and we were following a thing, and then there was this triangle cave that was like clearly man-made, and this and that, and then you were just talking about how elves were enslaved and that these people were making them do stuff. So I was like, hey, maybe they did that, and maybe he'll know something, but you don't, so it's okay.
I don't
Isn't there,
know
like-
anything about a triangle cave, but if you had a dream that was leading you somewhere,
There are like 2 obelisks and a mountain, you said.
I've never left the valley, so I don't know anything about that. I just know you had a dream walk, then you should follow where your dream walk took you.
Oof. Well, it took us to that city that you were talking about. At least it took me over it. So it's on the way.
Boom. Luck.
And that's also actually why we're here. We were hoping to get maybe some, if you guys had anything you could spare provisions. I know we were all just attacked and things, but
Oh, no, of course. We can definitely spare some food and take on your way. We can always make more. It's fine.
It's gonna be real. Making food is like one benefit of. Do.
look, I was just trying to be polite, gee. and asking after an attack. It feels bad, man.
Maybe that giant will know more about.
Oh yeah, is he still here?
There's
Yeah,
a giant?
no. Oh my gosh, that there was like at least one giant who survived.
Yeah, that's true. I'm saying this as Arden. Arden is like, there was a giant?
Oh yeah, there were lots of giants.
Well, we saw giants on the castle, but I didn't think any of them would have survived the crash.
Well, one.
One casted
Did
flying
it-
himself. He was able to make it safely back to this town. At least I think he did.
Well, in this valley, he hasn't come up here. Sorry.
Hmm.
How would the giants know about that?
Oh, well, we were searching the rubble and the ruins, and I saw movement in one, and then a giant hand grabbed me and left this rune on my arm, and then I had that dream, and the rune became an arrow, and now it's an arrow when I will it to be, I guess.
Explanation.
I'm great at
A
explaining.
plus.
Oh,
Yeah, look, and I'll show. Oh wait, it's not glowing anymore. Never mind.
sorry, I don't speak giant, so I don't think anyone here does actually. We don't have a lot of dealings with giants.
Oh my god, Gail.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
I was not even moving. I do not know what is causing it.
That is so terrifying. Sound like your microphone decided to search. Joe, will you stop?
Joe, fucking no.
I'm
Delete.
having adventures going
Oh,
back,
jeez, I didn't even notice.
flashbacks.
You're here, man.
Nah, Slender, you get him out of here. I can't even look in the chat now.
I know, like delete that, please. It's too late for that.
for me, my mind just keeps on going to Adventure Zone. Where it's just like, I mean, I could. I was like, I can't really talk about that. Well, I mean, I could, but hear me. It was like, for example,
Yeah.
It's just like a bunch of wind just happened to pass by Arden as he was speaking.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Zephyr sort of has to party. I have a thing I might be able to do.
that thing says Kato.
Given the time, I would get the higher power that I worship a question and get a basically to tell them if I can do a divination.
Oh, I can do that too.
Y'all would like. I could ask the Wild Mother for some information on this whole obelisk thing.
That may be good.
Can't guarantee she'll be as, straightforward as Nomad, but, worth a shot.
Yeah.
Just letting you guys know in case there's anything else we need to do while we're here.
Kato says, yes, I have a feeling this is going to be our last chance of where we travel for some time.
Goes and checks inventory.
You laughed.
This is the last time you'll be able to say continuing on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
more like the if you continue on, you will not be able to return to this part of the
Return to
game.
this
Would you like to
point.
continue?
No, not yet. Let's get provisions up.
We should probably get some, like, if they have potion,
If y'all
that'd
find
probably be good.
enough, I can make the potions.
Well, that takes a long time.
I mean, if you're looking for potions, you can check out the shop.
Let's
You guys
go to
have
the
a store?
shop.
Not
I have no
Not a big-
gold.
It doesn't matter that there's a store. We don't have any money.
Arden is just like, well, I mean, it's not a big shop, just a small shop where people can shop.
Okay,
Are you-
Use
well,
money,
jeez.
but it's a shop.
we could maybe trade them for things. I mean, what use do they have for currency out here?
That's fair.
And we don't really use currency. We usually just go like a kind of like a give and take kind of thing, where it's
Yeah,
like
see?
it's like, yeah, you give me this, and like
Bartering.
I'll give you this, and maybe that the thing they give us a favor, or
Yeah, okay, it's okay. You don't have to hurt yourself. We get it.
But yeah, it's
Sorry,
just
proceed.
a little bit of a chance to get set up a shop right over there where people can shop. Just a shop.
Okay, to the shop. Turn around. What direction is the shop?
Arden's like, yes.
Right down the way.
I head down the way.
Yeah.
Arden's like, it's the third hut from the left. Just take 2 rights and you'll see it.
Anybody get that reference, by the way?
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
Right past that statue of Nomad. Wait, what?
Our Lord and Savior, Nomad.
No.
What?
No, it's actually
Oh,
just
hell no,
Nomad. He's
man.
been hanging out here. He beat us here.
I mean, probably. No.
Some say he hasn't moved in 50 years.
So what's at the shop?
You go to the shop, and it's currently in the process of being put back together. But there's a kind gentleman there. Who's like, did you want to use the shop? Just shop, set up, and then you can shop.
Well, okay.
The word shop starting to sound funny to anybody.
Yes.
Okay. Glad I'm not alone.
He's not using the word barter.
And about it, like, I mean, are you guys gonna help him get it set up?
What do we have to do? Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, like a bunch of like stuff got knocked off the shelves, and
Oh yeah, we'll help him
Yeah.
clean up.
Glad to
Yeah,
like
help.
sure.
like the door needs to be repaired.
Yeah.
If he
What
needs
would
help
have been
reinforcing
an
his
hour is going to be more like 20 minutes. Gets behind the counter and he's like, "All right, what can I do for you?"
Food?
Potion.
Planning.
general provisions and potions.
Okay, well,
Fun things
how
you
many?
might have.
provisions are going to be in the barrels in the back there. Potions, I only really have a couple. Some of them got broken in the attack, but I've got 3 potions here.
So if you have the ingredients to brew them, I would gladly take some of those.
Oh, well, those you'd have to get from the garden, unfortunately. That other stuff.
I'm sorry. How many were there? I think you cut out more.
3.
3.
Okay.
3 potions, and he kind of like takes them out from behind the counter, and you can see there are 2 red potions and 1 yellow one.
Ooh.
Ooh. What's that one do?
Yeah.
For this one,
Yes.
better at climbing.
Better at climbing, you say?
Yes.
Oh. Oh. Ooh.
I'm gonna assume, based off of, herbalism, that red's generally just healing.
I would love a red one. The thing is, I don't really have a lot to give. I can do something magic-y if you...
And you guys already helped me set up the shop.
I mean, that's true.
I mean, I did spend a couple minutes literally reattaching your furniture.
He pretty much just like gives you guys the potions, and actually now you're looking at the yellow potion. It's less of a yellow and more of like different like layers of what looks like sand and rock mixed in with this kind of like strange liquid.
So what is it?
Like some like brown like.
It looks like there's some particulate
silver, like multiple bands of like stones and gravel.
Oh, that'll be an interesting thing to down. It's going to be an interesting texture.
And mechanically, it is a potion of climbing.
Climbing.
Physically,
drink this
that's going
potion,
to be interesting
You
to
gain a
drink.
climbing speed equal to your walking speed for 1 hour. During this time, you have advantage on strength athletics checks when you climb.
Giving
Yay!
that to just handing that to the monk, just like here.
1 more level and she won't need it.
I know.
Oh, I know. Sorry, 2 more levels.
Oh, yeah, it's a 9, right? Yeah.
Guys, I just realized I can tell the time and I'm a compass, sort of.
you're
God.
turning into an iPhone.
I'm the ranger now.
I thought we were turning into like a
No,
Swiss Army knife or
true.
something.
Wait until she gets sending, then she will be an iPhone.
Yeah, there you go.
New goals.
Oh my god, we cast sending to each other. It'll be
I
wonderful.
don't have it. I wasn't planning to get it, but I might now.
For the means. All right. Well, thank you for all this. Like, good luck with your shop.
I'm assuming we want to give the healing potions to the squishy ones.
Yeah, I already put one in my inventory.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I have one. So if anybody doesn't have one,
Did you get one?
well, I started with it and we got all our magic stuff back.
Yeah, I got one too.
Yeah, I have two.
I mean, I'll take another one if we.
I mean, Zaris, do you need one?
No, I'm fine.
Are you sure?
He goes
Yeah,
into his bag, pulls out 5 potions. Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Jeez.
To Ebony it goes.
Not surprised at all.
It's like in a 6-pack, but one of like the plastic rings is empty because you used one already.
Exactly.
All right, we give it to Ebony then. Yay!
All right.
Plus
Is there anything else that you were interested in? We do have
Do you have
all kinds
anything
of
else?
oddities.
I mean, what do you have?
Yeah.
Oh, as you take a look around in the shop,
The shop.
As Mike
yeah,
Oh, jeez.
the shop.
proceed.
Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Ooh. Sash. Roll. D100.
I think
Huh.
Tori's rolling it.
53.
She was already rolling it.
I know. I was gonna say I think she's rolling it.
I can hype on rolling
You can roll it
D100.
because there's multiple things that you could find in the shop.
Ooh.
Oh,
I've been
well,
looking
I
around,
found
too.
number 53.
I was
so
gonna
somebody
say
else
I'm
can
100% looking around.
I want to roll.
Yeah,
too.
100%.
Anyone that's looking can roll a D100.
do
Alright.
D100.
Ooh.
Oh.
So Rowan, you find a small box
I found a box.
filled with an assortment of different sized buttons.
But
Box of buttons.
I give my box of buttons to Vanya. Like, here, now you can practice.
Oh.
No, for your.
That's too cute. Okay.
Anya, you find a pair of 6-sided dice made out of bone. The 6
Okay.
pip would be is a skull symbol.
I'm gonna leave these behind.
What?
That's not ominous at all.
Roll them.
Ramona, you find what looks to be a sewing needle.
I pass it to Vanya.
I mean, she already has.
going to learn how to sew.
Yeah, she's gonna become a full-on. Our little.
Making corduroy
I only
sweater.
knew because I heard Rowan be like, "Here you go," and it was
Yeah.
buttons. So
Vanya, as you
Fine.
take the sewing needle from Ramona and kind of like check to see how durable it is, you find that it doesn't bend.
Mm.
Oh,
ooh,
man, I wish that really existed.
right?
Amity, you find a book.
Of course.
What is it?
The mope
As
sits
you
on the floor and starts reading it.
as you start viciously paging through the book, you find that it's blank.
Ooh, a blank book. Okay. She's just like, is this just a journal? Or
It can be whatever you want it to be, says the shriner.
okay.
Vanya, do you mind if I take the dice?
Oh, yeah,
That's the
go
same
for it,
thing.
of course.
Rowan, can
How
I
many
be
dice?
there when you roll them?
How many
There's-
dice is it? Mike, just one?
It's a pair of 6-sided dice.
Okay.
Can I have the other one?
That's probably a good idea. Yeah, we'll split them up here.
Okay.
Zeris, you find a rabbit's foot.
Lucky.
Detect magic.
Okay, you detect magic. Seem magical.
It does or doesn't?
Does not.
Okay. Sorry, you cut out a little bit at the beginning.
And finally, Zephyr. Can that doesn't have any opening to it. Sounds like it's filled with what you can only imagine to be sand. Or some other kind of, like...
You just sell canned sand? Or whatever is in here?
Oh, is that what you hear in it? Interesting.
It's actually a can of whoop ass.
Oh my god.
Open it. Open it.
I got dirt.
What do
And
you mean?
Kato finds a glass orb with moving smoke.
What? Fucking Kato gets to remember all? What is this bullshit?
Hey, I rolled randomly just as you guys did.
What is this thing?
It's a can.
Hey Kato, can I trade you the dice for the ball?
I already have a pair.
Yeah,
of
I'm
dice.
just curious now, Zaris.
But
Do you
do
hear what I
you
hear on
have
this?
bone dice?
Yes. What else would you
Really?
make dice out of?
I don't
What
know.
about with a skull on one side?
Yeah.
It's edgy.
I'm just gonna sort
So
of.
cool.
We kind of take a look at it. It's like the skull where the 6 would be. It would make more sense if it was on the side with the 1. Now it's just really confusing if you're rolling a 1 or a 6.
Man, Kato,
No,
why'd you
thank
have to take all the fun out of this?
Zephyr just holds the can near Zaris's ear and is like, "Do you hear what I hear?"
What do I hear?
You hear something moving inside. To you, it sounds like insects.
I hear bugs.
Weird.
Ooh. I want to hear too. What do I get to hear?
When you listen to it, it sounds like there's some kind of liquid inside.
Thing is odd.
Oh, weird.
Bag of I'm not sure I'm gonna need this. I'm just gonna hand it to Emily ahead of time. Here's a bottle of ink.
Ooh, thank you.
To go with that book. Also, would you like the quill too?
Yes, that's kind of needed to write.
It's the right hand. It's like no.
Oh,
Here's a bottle of ink and a quill.
Amity's sassy today.
All right, should we go to the garden and see if we can find
Well-
some herbs?
Maybe we should take some of the provision rations while
Oh, yeah,
we're
that too.
here.
But you said those were in the back. I figured we'd do like a stop and go kind of thing.
Okay.
What happened to all of the rations that we had? We left, like when we were
I-
traveling with the
Knights had them
knights have them.
because we found them all, and then they
Actually,
found the rest.
Kato had them.
Hmm.
Remember, right before you left, you saw Kato shoveling rations into a bag.
Oh yeah, we all did too.
Yeah.
We
That,
put
and
a
it
bunch
seems weird
into-
because the bag never filled.
Yeah,
Also showed rations in Ramona's bag.
I guess not
Well,
that
I
weird
have it
because
written
Ramona
down
has
that I
one
have
too.
12 in mine. But I also wasn't maybe paying completely full attention when we were taking
I was gonna say, I'm like, I have 20. How do you only have 12?
I know that at one point we had 34 days of rations. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Safe to say that everybody has exhausted their personal supply of rations, and Kato's supply of rations that he had in his bag is full, but he could always make room for more.
We can put more in my bag.
Sort of as a shopkeep, does he have any components for druids?
You know a druid?
Hmm?
Yes, you know a druid?
You're looking at him.
Him? And he points to Xeris.
Nope.
The person in front of the... He's like...
Points to Kato.
Zaris leans over to Zephyr. Raise your hand and say me.
This guy, me, right here. And is a druid.
That doesn't make sense.
I literally just put... I just reattached your furniture.
He's not lying. He is a druid.
I
Yes.
literally just reattached your wooden furniture with magic.
Oh.
Imagine I literally turned into an eagle a couple days ago.
Now I've seen everything.
Yep, I've seen the eagle too.
You kind of fought the eagle a little bit.
You don't know that.
I thought it was a vulture when you two were fighting.
No, I'm pretty
It
sure
was a
an eagle.
very large bird.
Any components for druids you would happen to carry?
What are you looking for?
Just general all-purpose components for casting. Can't always rely on the totem.
Druids, you're probably better off finding those at the garden as well.
You know.
Do you have parchment?
Maybe. And kind of looks underneath a...
I mean, it's about to pull a Caleb.
Move some stuff around. Sound of glass breaking. Shit! And then he pulls out a large bundle of paper.
Ooh. Thank you.
Is this enough?
That is plenty.
Just take the entire bundle.
Yeah, for sure. Should I just write lots of paper in my inventory?
Sure, that works for me.
Okay.
Becomes an issue, I'll just tell you, now you're out.
It's gonna be right when you really needed that paper, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Nah, you're done." You'd be like, "What do you mean?"
You
She's also
find
got the...
you find the components for Wish, but you're out of paper now, so sucks.
All the paper in the world mysteriously vanished.
Remember how the
Sucks
world
to
is
be
on
you.
fire? It all burned.
No more paper.
You can also not use magic to create paper. Sucks to be you.
Okay, bye.
Paper is actually a cantrip for 10th level wizards.
Create paper.
But it's only available to war wizards.
All right. Well, time to go to the garden.
So,
Mm-hmm.
in case anybody
Thanks
needs
for
anything.
shopping.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not really shopping, but sure. Say they want to leave.
I don't know what shopping is.
I was gonna say, just let them think it is. It's fine.
The only reason they put up a shop is they were told to.
This is a very recent
Oh.
thing.
Yeah, it looks nice, but could use a shop. It's not a big shop, just a shop. So you guys leave the shop and make your way over to the garden.
Anyone need anything from the garden? Because up until now, I only realized that divination requires incense, which is something apparently I need.
Oh,
I mean, I don't need anything personally from the garden.
No, I'm good.
sure your friends took all the incense out of the warehouse too. They're a bit
No.
lacking on incense. Don't find any incense at the garden. What else are you looking for?
Just gonna assemble a case we happen to come into a situation where we are not with our spell casting focuses again. A component pouch for said druid.
All right. You find most of the stuff that you would need for component pouch. There are a couple things, less natural things that you would have to go out and find elsewhere. Have like a list of every component from every spell, but I know not all of them are things you can find in a garden. So
Yeah, generally the stuff you... Most of the non-druidic stuff.
oh, there you go.
You know,
Yeah.
tuning forks and stuff like that.
I don't know about tuning fork, but yeah, you find all like the natural stuff like bugs and sand and twigs.
Also, before I do a divination, what does the party want me to ask said deity?
Do you have incense for divination?
Could I borrow some incense from a party member real quick?
I mean, it
Your
could.
party members have incense?
Not me.
It's not mine to give.
Not me.
I was gonna say, I think Ramona has all of our
I do.
and Amity's not gonna say anything.
Anya wouldn't
Oh, I was
either.
gonna say it's not mine to give.
Don't even need a lot. I just need like a little bit to burn, that's it. The rest of it is a sacrificial offering.
Ask them.
Amity's looking at her nails.
I think they want it for their familiars.
I've still got 4 gold of incense on me. I'll give him 2 golds worth.
That's not even enough to make a familiar.
It's not. That's from what I gathered in the woods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's from the shit we got in the woods.
How much gold do you need worth of incense?
Old amount, I just need to burn some.
Oh, well, there you go.
Pretty
You
sure
got
it's
2
like
golds worth.
25 gold worth of incense.
25.
Pretty sure. Let me double check the spell.
Sacrificial offering appropriate to a religion, together worth at least 25 gold.
Yeah, so the incense is, I would say, is worth 25 gold, unless like you're specifically offering gold as the sacrificial offering.
Which we also have
We
none
don't
of.
have.
Which you don't have, and also which, if you're trying to contact the Wild Mother, why the fuck would she give a shit about gold?
Yeah, exactly. Just
Oh.
like,
Just do some
Just drop me
druidy stuff.
Yeah, we only have 30. We wouldn't have enough.
No. She pets
Peter
Marmalade.
reaches into his bag, and he pulls out like ridiculously like big like bundles of weed that they have in movies. Like that, but it's all incense.
he just
And he
carries
just,
incense
like-
by the brick.
That kind of like shaves off like 25 gold worth into your into your cupped hands, and then you're just like, what do I do with this now?
Fuck, it's like,
I
can always make those
I don't
into
even know how much incense I have anymore. I just know that
a large amount.
back in Cato's original campaign, I was just like, I don't want to worry about incense, so I just went out and bought like 5,000 gold worth of incense.
You just carry it around like bricks of cocaine.
Except it's not illegal.
Yep. I would imagine Zephyr could just make that into like a solid form of sticks or something.
I don't need
Like,
to, but sure.
just gonna burn it.
So what are you using as an offering?
question. Because I don't know much about the Wild Mother, so could you please enlighten me?
Okay. I mean, she's the goddess of all and living animals. I know what else to tell you there, bud. It's basically think Mother Nature and anything pertaining to it.
I'll just I'll just go with Zachary normal, like what he'd give at like a temple, just like his usual druid crafted like rings, burn the incense. What do you guys want me to ask her before I do this? Since, pertaining to our quest west.
Wait, what are... I don't know. Why are we asking?
We are
Yeah,
asking.
This is outside my scope of understanding.
Yes, asking a god a question about a quest west. This is hard, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, you're asking for help too.
But what are
This
you
was-
trying to, learn from your spell, Zephyr?
Just like a general sort of location name, or
Of what, the temple? We don't really need that. We have her. And he points. Kano points to Ramona.
I wave.
could ask about our draconic friend if you would like.
It's up to you,
Oh.
buddy.
Yeah, you're the one casting the spell.
Alright. In that case, I guess we'll ask about our humanoid dragon friend.
Right.
If we'll sort of ask the Wild Mother, is our, human dragon friend going?
So, take a second to, unless you're doing it as a ritual casting, then that would take 10 minutes.
Yeah, doing it as a ritual because I'm not spending the spell slot to do it. That's
Right,
fourth
yeah,
level.
you-
I'm not spending this.
You take the 10 minutes and go through the process of casting your spell. Minutes later, you feel a slow breeze kind of hit you from you smell ash. That smell, you get the sense almost like the area around you is suddenly getting hotter. And you don't know why it comes to you, but you think volcano.
Alright. Nothing else?
Then you hear a guttural chuckle. It sounds masculine, so you know it's not the Wild Mother. And it's just laughing. Deep, guttural. Something very big. You get.
Okay, so we got a deep guttural chuckle from something very big and a volcano.
Yep.
Alright, time to inform the party of what I now know. It's like, he was headed for a volcano, and it has something to do with a very large entity who may be located at said volcano.
Great.
All right.
From what I'm guessing, he will be able to get there soon, considering he can fly himself.
So, not where we're going.
Y'all know of a volcano in the nearby area.
Oh, if
I
Nomad
didn't even
was
know
here,
this
we could
area.
ask him.
I think most of us didn't even know this area existed until we landed on it.
What'd you say, Mike? You cut out.
This Kato said, if Nomad was here, we could ask him if there was a volcano on this continent.
Yeah, we could always ask Arden. Would y'all like to ask Arden about any nearby volcanoes?
Oh, I don't think Arden would know unless they were in this mountain range, seeing how he's never left this valley.
Yeah.
Several times.
If we see Nomad, we can always ask him.
Hopefully he catches up to us.
I'm so nervous for him now. It's fine. I'm not paranoid.
By
Is
the
there
way,
anything else we need to do?
He's just off fighting in some tournament for some reason.
no, that's several years in the future.
Oh,
Time
right.
travel.
Is there anything else we need to do here?
I think we should be.
All right, let's load up on provisions and hit the road.
Agreed.
I'm not gonna lie, there was more information than I actually thought I was gonna get.
Oh well. Being cryptic.
I mean,
Why-
it's still more
why would-
information than I would have gotten out of like Nomad.
Why would the goddess of nature just like straight up tell you something? She would give you clues and figure out what those clues mean.
So, how much food do we think we should take?
Well, the place was like really, really far.
Should take enough to accommodate all of us for at least a month, maybe a month and a half.
Okay, so one person is gonna have like 2 months worth of food then. Keep in mind.
They're gonna have two.
Keep
what?
in mind, I don't need to eat, Kato.
Yeah, I got that. I didn't say for 7 people. And we need food for everyone. Maybe a month and a half.
All right. So, start stuffing the bags then.
I
Maybe
just
we should.
opened my bag.
Maybe we should plan for 7 people in case Nomad does join us again.
That's probably a good idea.
And having some extra couldn't hurt.
Oh. Seven times 45.
But that's a lot.
Ugh.
315.
305. Nope, 315, you're right.
Do people want to carry a little bit in their personals just in case?
Yeah, probably
take some.
good.
In case I die.
I can take some.
Let me double check the
The capacity? Yeah, that's a lot.
for the capacity. I don't remember how much a ration weighs. Oh shit,
Oh.
that's actually
It's
pretty
like, yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty heavy.
A ration's like 2 pounds, so that's like
Jesus.
600 pounds.
Yeah.
That's more than one.
Some people should carry some because I have a bit of stuff in here. Not a
I'll
lot,
take 20.
granted.
Rations and carry it.
Hmm.
I got the strength.
Yeah, how about
I'll take-
everybody takes like at least 10 rations, 10 to 20,
Yeah, I'll take 10.
Yeah, I can take 15.
and the rest will put equally between mine and Ramona's bags.
Cool. That's still math that I wasn't following.
I can take 20.
It's just like we know how much rations people have,
Yeah.
like the whole party has. Where those rations are per person, we don't need to keep track.
Cool.
It's just it was too many rations for a single bag of holding. Luckily,
Yeah.
we have more than a single bag of holding, as well as other people are carrying rations.
To carry some. Yay!
It's a
Thankfully,
good thing in case somebody gets separated.
Mhm.
also a good thing you have a party member that doesn't require, food or water, with the ability to breathe.
Well, you know,
It's
you can still
good
carry
seeing
your fair
how-
share anyway.
Seeing how we didn't count you when we were counting how much we needed.
Then let's head out.
Yeah. We can't fly off this mountain, though. We're going to have to walk.
I think since we've flown up the
We'll
mountain, we would get a
remind
recon.
you guys that the stabs, they do have a fly once per day, but they also let you cast the levitate spell on the glider at will.
Oh yeah, so we can just levitate down. Wait, before we leave, I just remembered. Maybe
What do
we
we
can
get?
get one of those cool light things.
No, jeez.
Oh, you still
No,
want one?
okay, no, never
Oh,
mind. It's
the
fine.
lanterns?
Yes, she wants one.
Mhm.
Would you like me to make it a small one? If you can get the stuff, I can probably make it a small one.
I just want one.
We have to make you a little baby one.
Yeah.
From what? By large.
I even have one of the sky sails that we can attach it to now.
Yeah, except lugging a sky sail with a light on it's gonna be a pain.
Oh. Okay, never mind. I'll just use my normal lantern.
I mean, we can make a small one of those.
No, it's fine. Let's just go. I'm over it.
It doesn't sound like you're over it.
Oh, I am. Okay, jeez. It's
Even
fine.
it's your jacket, though.
If we can get the materials, I can make you a small one that you can, carry.
How come you didn't offer to make me one before? It's okay.
I think you did, but then
Oh.
dragons.
Oh,
Uh,
right.
Whole dragon thing happens.
Look, I got hit by lightning. I forgot.
It's okay.
Let's just go. It's fine. I don't need one.
It'd actually be kind of useful for you, so
I
Might
have a
actually-
lamp. It's fine.
Okay. Enough of us can give you dark vision. I think we should be okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no wandering.
No wandering.
That should be a rule for the
Yeah.
entire group.
Specifically those who can't see in the dark.
There is one other problem, however.
And
Making
what
our
is-
way through the storm clouds when me and Nomad tried to chase our dragon friend through, we were buffeted by the strong winds and weren't able to follow him.
Huh.
Is that the same direction we're about to try and go in?
No, but if you remember, when we came to this valley, the only reason we were able to enter would seem to part when the great wolf Sif.
Or, you know.
All right, so then we go talk to the wolf again and see if she'll bark at it for us. Should be around here somewhere with, I have the kid's name written down somewhere.
Do you just write down everybody's names that we meet?
I try. But I didn't. Oh, nope, I didn't.
Really?
Not in this notebook.
Ari?
Yeah, the
Caleb
boys
slightly goes back to campaign 1.
Yeah, as Ramona says, the boy's name was Ari. Luckily, I planned for this, and I've been trying to build a rapport with Sif.
How has that gone for you?
Oh, she hasn't bit my head off, so that's good.
That's a good start.
Wolves. Given wolves, that's, you know, a step in the right direction. Still lies, that counts for something.
Is Sifa just a really big wolf, or is she like a magical wolf?
What I can-
She's a fake creature. She comes from.
Okay.
It's
I
been a while since I've
figured.
met one of them.
Let's go find her.
Let's.
Yes.
It doesn't take you long to find Sif, as she is a giant wolf.
You'd say the size of an elephant.
She's in the process of helping the villagers by large bundles of trees. The villagers are taking the trees off of her one by one to use as to rebuild their village from. He stares down at you guys as you all walk up to her. Then Kato starts speaking in a language that almost none of you speak, except for Zephyr.
If you would like, you would like, I can translate.
Nah, I'm okay.
Yeah, I think Kato's got it.
All right.
All right. And so, turns to you guys and says, well, it seems she'll help us as soon as the villagers are done unloading all the wood.
We can help with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do what we can.
So load some wood.
All right. I would like everybody to make athletics checks.
Oh,
Oh, good.
That's what we're stellar at.
What I wanted
we got this.
Yep, that tracks.
Oh, for Vanya.
There you go, Amity.
Oh,
There you go.
We're trying.
it's always so
We're
depressing
looking-
when I look at athletics -1 to my +11 in acrobatics. It just makes me really sad. When it's not like athletics or acrobatics, it's just athletics and I cry. Mm.
Silence.
Well, Kato, calm down.
Yeah, get out of here, dude.
So you guys, between the 6 of you, are all carrying a tree as Kato walks by, carrying a whole tree by himself.
Show off.
Amity.
What? My hands hurt.
Don't you dare swoon right now.
Yeah. If you swoon, you're gonna drop the tree.
I'll try my hardest.
But he walks
And
way
she drops
faster
it.
than us, so we all get to look at the behind.
We have that booty.
That booty dough.
That booty dough.
Can we focus on carrying the tree?
Apparently
help.
not.
I can multitask.
Distraction helps me.
I hadn't mentioned yet that he's taking his shirt off.
Okay.
It's hot at work.
And Amity
Oh,
falls.
man.
Emily definitely drops her section of the tree.
I mean, she rolled a 3. She wasn't really doing much anyways. It's fine.
That's
It's
why
a friend.
all the three.
Yeah.
Clear that Zaris and Zephyr are doing most of the work.
Whoa, whoa.
Me.
No.
Excuse me.
Rowan
I
is
see
doing a ton of
Zaris.
work.
Ramona and Rowan.
Yeah, but
I
y'all
know
too
the
busy
only two
staring.
that are doing.
We
The
were
only two that are
busy.
truly doing no work are Amity and Vanya.
17
As,
over here.
as the women are swooning over the shirtless Kato, I would
And
like you to
working.
make a perception check.
You would like us to make a perception check?
Anyone who's looking.
Oh yeah.
So
We
the
don't
4
wanna look
ladies.
at-
All right. 9. I have a +7. What is?
Oh, this is so dumb. I love it.
We're all like eyes emoji.
Hard eyes.
Wasn't a hard check. So, Rowan, I'm assuming it's just the sunlight getting in your eyes.
Yeah, it's really bright. The sun's like reflecting off of the sweat, and it's
I
too
mean,
much.
technically you
Too
should have
much.
disadvantage on that, but I'm not going to make you roll again.
Oh man! Damn it!
Vanya, Ramona, and Amity, you notice as Kato is walking by with his tree. You see on his forearms look like they look solid black before you realize that they're actually tattoos. Anyone, which makes sense because you've done tattoo work yourself, to notice what the tattoos are. They seem to be tattoos of black wings on his forearms. As he walks past all of you, you see that his back is filled with scars. Stepped many times.
So edgy, so sad.
Still super cool though.
Yes.
So cool.
So hot.
Honestly, it just makes him edgier. Let's be real here.
Right?
It's
The
true.
scars just make him edgier.
Yeah, they add mystery.
Right. So,
Alright.
nice long hour of hard work moving trees around.
And oogling.
Googling. That's probably why it takes an hour, because you're having a hard time staying focused.
Roll a con save for distraction.
As Mike is now thoroughly awkward out by his NPC being sexualized.
Oh no, man! I've been waiting for this moment.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
It's
he
perfect.
picked
Down to
3
100%.
girls in
Like,
this campaign. They knew what they were asking for.
This is a part of Kato's backstory that never came up in the original campaign he was from, because there was never a reason for him to have his shirt off.
Oh, well, don't worry. We got
Now
you
there's
covered.
plenty of reasons.
Now there are 4 reasons.
Yeah, Vanya has suddenly jumped on board this train.
I
All of a
understand.
sudden, she's like, now I see the appeal.
Yeah, so at the end of that hour of work, you're all but as kind of bindings that were keeping the trees onto Sif are removed, Kato says, to take us, and moment of hesitation where you're like, wait, take us? And then before you can react, one by one, she picks up all of you with her mouth and just kind of throws you onto her back.
I'm fine with it.
And
This is weird.
Kato says, on. And
Hold the gun.
Already hanging on.
Yeah.
just as like you grab hold of her thick fur, all of you suddenly feel your stomachs lurch, even you, Zephyr, as you are rocketed up into the air faster than even the sky sails were doing before.
Even though I can feel that.
Yeah, as Sif just starts bounding through the mountains, jumping from bluff to bluff, top of one cliff near the edge of the storm cloud border, and she lets out bark that just seems to send out a shockwave, and you see the clouds part once again. Goes bounding down the mountain, bluff to bluff, until she lands amidst the trees, and then she keeps going even then for a little ways before finally coming to a stop in a clearing. And by the end of that, all of you are feeling a little dizzy from the lurching motion of her jumping all over the place. And as soon as you kind of slide off of her, you're just like, oh god. Solid ground.
That was interesting. Didn't know I could feel that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here for a minute.
Hey, to everybody, make a con save.
I'm assuming you want it from all of us.
You, Zephyr.
Yep.
Oh no.
No.
Yep. One of you takes a moment to relieve yourself of your breakfast. Jeffrey, when you kind of like feel this weird in the bottom of your torso, a strange black liquid comes shooting out of your mouth, and you're just like, what do I do with this?
Is this what humanoids call vomiting? It's fucking
Also see,
weird.
like-
As you look
you also
around and
see,
see
like,
everybody
random
else doing it.
Where everybody else has like chunks of food, yours has nuts and bolts amidst the black liquid.
It's not even nuts and bolts, it's like pieces of metal and like
That's what nuts and bolts are pieces of metal.
you know, like the wood that's underneath his metallic skin. Gotta keep in mind, Warforged are like tree and metal.
Joe says something else to Sif in this language that only Zephyr speaks, and a moment later, Sif nods and then goes bounding back towards the mountain range.
I wave and say, thank you. And then lay down.
Yeah, I you probably get that out before
Yeah.
bouncing away.
I now understand why y'all hate that feeling.
I mean, sometimes it's fun, but that was too much. Like the sky sails. Those were fun.
When is it ever fun?
Sky sails. Those were fun.
Oh, I thought you
I
were referring
mean-
to puking.
No.
I meant the, the black liquid that I just happened to, retch. And I didn't know I could do.
You're a weird wood metal thing. I'm not. Whatever comes out of you is bound to be weird as well. It's
Yeah.
not that far of a stretch.
Bill looks at all of you, kind of like reeling on the ground, and he just says, "If you think this was bad, you should try long-range teleportation."
Oh my gosh, Mike.
Oh
no.
man,
That guy. Anyway.
I'm assuming you've had bad experiences with teleportation.
Not me, but some of my friends
Hey.
for it.
All right, so we're still heading southwestish.
What we should do about the elf kingdom yet, but ways.
By the way, did we ever determine what direction that guy was going? Our dragon friend?
When he was leaving the valley, he went northwest, but you don't know if he continued going that direction after leaving the valley.
I also don't want to chase the scary dragon man.
I
Me
had
neither.
Nope. He can do what he wants to do. I'm good.
Also, per the terms of a divination, what I saw is not set in stone. Depending on what happens over the course of these next few days, that could change.
I mean, the odds of us catching up with him in a couple of days, regardless of the direction he goes in, are very, very slim. I think that sticking to one course of action, the one that we have now, is the best way to go about it.
If you would like, every few days, I can just check in.
I mean, if we're not chasing after that, it might be
It'd probably be a safe course of action, just every few days.
I mean, if you want.
Check in. Like, where the fuck is he?
I don't know how much it matters, but
I mean, considering the guy literally probably is in league with several other dragons and he just took down a cloud giant castle.
let's stick our nose into one problem at a time.
I'm just saying, you should at least keep tabs on that situation over there.
You don't
What
even
you
know
do with your
over there is.
We should start walking.
Yeah, which direction is west?
Mhm.
I'm hoping I just know that.
Make us survive. Now you know which way is
Please
left.
no. Please don't wake me. Vanya's survival rolls tonight are about as good as mine in real life.
Oof.
So you guys turn and way west, and to do anything else tonight, that's where we're gonna end it.
Yeah. That's about it.
The four girls for sure get together and compare notes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
guys, don't worry, I'm an
Jesus
artist.
Christ.
100%.
Yeah, we aid the artists in their artist rendition. Like no, that muscle
No,
was
it's
much
like
bigger. This is totally ill proportioned.
Rowan's just confused because she didn't notice any of it.
Rowan,
We have to
you
catch-
should have seen it.
We have
But
to get her-
secretly in her head, she's like, haha, I've seen his face, bitches.
I really.
What's up?
When he took his shirt off, he still had his scarf over his face.
That's not weird.
You gotta protect yourself from heat stroke.
Damn it, Kato.
Oh, that's stupid. He would have taken off like the hood and scarf and everything. I'm not gonna be that weird guy. Take off his shirt, but leaves the hood and the scarf up.
And I'm going to be
What?
the weird guy that says, we're going to end the session here. End the recording. So thank you for watching everybody swoon over his ass, and we will catch you next week.
Deadass. There will be more.
And Kato watch 2019.
I mean, Mike knew exactly what he was doing, putting this
Oh
character
yeah,
in.
of course.